This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Okay, fine. So let's talk about the OOPS concepts. OOPS. Let's talk about OOPS. Tell me, guys, what is mean that OOPS? OOPS means object oriented programming language. Object oriented programming language. So the Python is a programming language which is the object oriented programming language. Okay, so we are talking about Python, right? So Python is the object oriented programming language. At what basis we are saying Python is object oriented programming language? Can you share me that point? At what basis we are calling it which is object oriented programming language? Tell me, at what basis we are calling it the object oriented programming language? So if any programming language which is having some kind of characteristics, it may be follow some kind of characteristics. What are the characteristics it has to be followed, or else we can call it, if any programming language which is having some kind of features, the features are here. Okay, the features over here, the features are, it may be data hiding. Okay, it may be data hiding or data encapsulation. Data encapsulation. Third one is multi-threading. Sorry, method overriding. Method overriding. Okay. Fourth one is method overloading. Inheritance. Encapsulation. Inheritance. Okay. Polymorphism. Polymorphism. Let me talk about one more time for more understanding of the object-oriented programming language. So basically Python is the object-oriented programming language. So we are calling it a Python is object-oriented programming language. The reason is that it is having some kind of features. The features are here: data hiding, data encapsulation, method overloading, method overriding, inheritance, and polymorphism. If any programming language, it may follow this kind of features, that kind of programming language, we are calling it object-oriented programming language. Is it clear my point? Is this clear or not?
Okay, sir. Clear.
Anybody? Is there anyone having any kind of question regarding about this one? You don't worry. What is data hiding, data encapsulation, method overriding, method overloading, inheritance, polymorphism? These all features I can explain you in detail with a small examples. Okay? Yep. Now let me go for understand, guys. Let me go for understand. If any programming language which is following this kind of features, right? So that we are calling it object-oriented programming language. But how these all features can follow it? How? how a programming language is following these features. The main reason is behind that why these features are following by that specific programming language is a programming language which is having the two components, class and object. Okay, if any programming language which is able to create the class and which can able to creating the objects. So when a programming language is able to do these two components, then it can able to follow this kind of features. Okay, so if you want to data hiding, data encapsulation, method overriding, method overloading, inheritance, polymorphism, if you want to understand, if you want to implement these things without class and without object, we can't do that. Okay, is it clear? Is this clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let me go for understanding the what is a class. Let me go for understand what is object. So first you should understand these two things, then we'll look for this all. Okay. Yep. Just tell me what is the class? What is class? Tell me what is class?
Just like a blueprint.
Hmm?
It's just like a blueprint.
Just like a see, class is nothing but it is a template. For example, I just want to give a small question for you guys. Create the resume. Okay, create the resume. That specific time, what we are asking, sir, can you send me some kind of templates? Which templates I should able to do it? So whatever the templates we have it, with the basis of this particular templates, we are creating the multiple resumes. Is it right or not? Yes or no? Template is a structure. Template is nothing but what? It's a structure. Structure for what? Structure for here creating the resume. Okay, so here resume is the object. Here resume is the object. Class is the template. What it is? Class is the template. It can be used for to creating the object. Class is the structure. It can be creating the meaningful objects. Is it clear? So you can see some examples of this one in our later on sessions. And let me go for understanding what is class. Class is nothing but it's a template. It's a template, or else it's a structure. For what? For object. Our ultimate aim is that you should go for creating the object. Okay, our ultimate aim is that we should go for creating the object. If you want to create the object, we should have the class. The classes are defining the templates. With the basis of templates, we can creating the objects. Okay, clear? You can say that it's a blueprint. Usually in a technical terms, we can call it a blueprint of an object. An object. So here the blueprint is nothing but template only. Blueprint is nothing but structure only. So just for understanding purpose, I just share a template or structure. blueprint is nothing but it's exactly same as a object only. So with help of this particular blueprint only, we can create the multiple objects. Yes or no? For example, you just need to go for creating the yes, phone safe cover. Okay, safe cover for safe cover for phone. So that situation, what exactly the people are doing here? So first they will creating the some design, okay, in a laptop, a computer. The 3D printers are CAD people or CAD engineers. What they will do, they will designing the safe cover based upon your phone. Okay, this is the design which is available in the computer. Okay, so that means you created the blueprint for the safe cover. You created the blueprint for the safe cover of the phone in a computer. This is the design. Once if you put on the 3D print, if you put on the 3D print, then we are getting the object. The object is your thing. Okay, you will be getting the blueprint of your safe cover, or else the entity of safe cover. So you are getting the safe cover. See guys, just try to understand. Before you created some objects, okay, you have to design some kind of structure. You should create some kind of blueprint. Okay, so that blueprint, when it is comes with some physical space, when which is occupied some kind of physical space, that we are calling it as object. Is there any question regarding about class? If you understood what exactly the class, then I can go ahead the object. Tell me, did you got my point? Class is nothing but nothing else. It's just a blueprint. You have to create the blueprint before creating objects. Once if we creating the blueprint, then only we can able to create the objects. Or else I can give some more examples. You are the web developer. Let me consider you are the web developer. Okay, you are the web developer, right? So we got a one project. You got a one project. By the time, first what will happens? Client interaction. Client interaction is done, right? Once the client interaction is done, he can explain his idea. He can explain his idea of his project. That particular situation, the web developer team, there are three teams are working. One is the UI UX design people. Okay, and next one is sorry. First he can able to share his idea. First, after that one, the UX design team, they can create some blueprint. They will create some kind of blueprint of that particular project. Okay, so that particular blueprint they can create with help of the UX. That means with help of some kind of graphic design or else other Photoshop. Okay, so with help of those particular tools, they will create some kind of UX design. Okay, this is the UX design. Again, we will show you to the client. Actually, the project is not completed. They just completed only UX. So that means after you creating the object, after you finished your project, so your object will be looking like this. Your project will be looking like this. That UX will show into the client. The client will accept your UX. With the base of this particular UX, there are two people they will work. One is front end people, second one is back end people. Okay, so the front end people they will creating some UI design. That means with help of the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, with help of those things they will creating the some kind of front end. Okay, so when you want to do some kind of backend operations, they will use some kind of Python, okay, or else they will use some kind of Java. They will use some kind of .NET for backend application, so backend purpose, for backend process. Is it clear? So when you creating the when you creating the project with help of the front end and backend and UX, then your project is ready on the live. The project is in live. Okay, that particular situation, your object is created. That specific situation, object is created. Okay, if your project is which is in the not live, then it is just a class only. At least now you understood what is the importance of the class. Hello. 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 Hello guys, can you able to hear me or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Did you got my point? What exactly
Yes,
the
sir.
class you understood, right? Class is nothing but it is just a blueprint in Python programming language. How you can able to creating the classes. So for that one, we have some syntax are available. So if you want to creating the class in Python, we can use the class keyword. We can use class keyword. With help of the class keyword, we can create classes. We can creating the classes. Okay. So one program with a single class, you may, you may have the multiple classes, but each class it should be having the unique name. Okay. So let me go for the syntax for that one. So class, it's a small character size. So small c. So class followed by the, you can use the class name can be the capital name, capital character. Okay. So class name, you can give you unique name. Okay, class name, and you may use sometimes parenthesis. You may not use the parenthesis. It's up to your choice, but make sure that you should have the colon symbols. Okay, inside of the class, you should give you some space to creating some kind of attributes. So here you should write some attributes. Okay, so this is the way of creating the classes. Let me go for understand the exact definition for the class. Class is the blueprint of an object which may contains the which may contains multiple attributes. Multiple attributes. Here the attributes are the, it may be variables. Well, the attributes are the, it may be variables or it may be functions. Usually the functions we're calling it as methods actually. Okay, the same functions only we are calling it as methods. When you are defining the functions inside of the class, then the functions are nothing but the methods only. Okay, functions and methods both are same, but the functions you may creating the outside of the classes, but methods are creating the inside of the class. That's it. That is the only difference. Okay, and with a single class we may creating the multiple objects. With the single class we may create the We may creating the how many objects? Multiple objects. Is it clear? Is this clear or not? This is the way you can creating the classes. Let me go for understand a small program. Before I creating the program, I can give some example. That example I can creating the object on my paint or my whiteboard. Okay, so create the class for an employee for a company. Create a class for a company. Okay, see, when you're talking about organization, okay, so the class name is, so you can use the class is the keyword and followed by the class name. The class name is, for example, company. Okay, yes. Okay, so inside of the class you may creating some kind of variables. For example, start date. So for example, the start date of that company is, I don't know, so you can defining that none. For example, name of the company, if you already know it, then you can say that you can fix it. But maybe I'm creating the one nature of the company. Okay, so with that specific thing, you may creating the multiple objects, so that I could not give the name by the time of creation of the class. Okay, the company, it may started with some specific date. The company, it should have some name, right? So that by the time of creation of the class, I cannot give the name. After you creating the class with the base of that specific class, you may creating the name of the company. Okay, is it clear? So here, this is the one attribute and this one is the one attribute. Okay, for example, if you go with Infosys, Infosys is the company. So Infosys is the company which is available or not. So you can say that Infosys the company is an object, company object. For example, I wish, let me consider my future plan is that I want to creating the iVision. So iVision is nothing but it's information vision. So I for information and vision means say forward step. Okay, forward planning. So this is my next plan. I want to start this one. So this is the company which is not alive. Okay, but this is live. This is not alive. Okay, that specific situation, this is the object, but this is not an object. Is it clear? Is this clear or not? So yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so both are same things only, but thing is that which is not at all created till now. It's a future plan, but it's already created. So once it is created with the base of this particular information, then this is the object for this particular class. But this is the just idea. I could not create it, so that it's not the class. Sorry, it's not the object. Okay. Yeah. You may thinking that how should I creating the objects? First of all, what is object? I hope you are understood the what is the class. Now let's go for understanding the object. Tell me anybody what is object? Object is nothing but is an entity. Entity of a class. So entity is nothing but, let's say, what it is entity. Entity means what? It's a physically touch and feel. Physically we can see. We can see. So that we are calling it say entity. Is it clear? Or else instance. Instance. Okay, instance also is nothing but it's an entity. See one more time, object is nothing but it's a it is an entity of class. So whatever the class you created previously, with that specific class, you may creating the objects, that we are calling it say, you may creating some entities that we are calling it object. Let me go for give some examples. So var equal to string, var equal to some string you designed, right? This is the variable type is string. Actually, string is the class. String is the class. Var is the object. Which type of object? Which is the class object. Okay. Object is physically we can know, we can see where it is available. We can see, but string class we can't see. It is just an imagination. Okay. Class is just an imagination. For that particular imagination, you are giving the platform. That platform we are calling it say object. Okay. When a class, with help of the class, we have created some kind of platform. That platforms we are calling it say objects. That's it. I hope you clear. I hope you clear, right? Now let me go for creating the objects. If you want to create the object, you can give you any name. So the name is, it's the object name, and you just assigning the class. You're just assigning the class. Okay. So here, this is the company is the class, and that class, when you're assigning the object, that specific situation, object can be created. Object created until this one is not, until executing of this one, object is not created. When this particular statement is executed, which means that object is created. Okay. Is this clear, my point? Is this clear or not? Say yes or no. Is this clear or not? Yes. So fine. Let me see practically, so that I would like to go for open the Jupyter notebook. Let me go for creating the class, and let me go for creating the objects. Will we go for creating the multiple objects or not? We'll see now. Okay, so 23. Oops. Yeah. So let me go for creating the class, company class. Okay. So if you want to create the class, we can use the class keyword and followed by the company is my class, and every company should having some name. Default, I could mention something like I don't know, so that it's a none. So opening date, open So actually classes are the capital letters, but attribute are the small letters only, those small characters. Okay, open date. Open date, for example, I don't know. So any company will be, when you creating the object, that specific time, we should give you this particular data, open date or opening date. Okay, so this is just information, at least the minimal information we required. Okay, nature of the company, type of company, type of organization. Okay, so what is the type of organization, whether it is a software company, whether it is a real estate company, whether it is the healthcare company, I don't know, right? So you have to give you the type of the company by the time of creating the object. Okay, this is just the class creation. If I executed this one, we are not doing anything, we are not did anything actually. For example, I would like to go for creating the name, the name of the company, for example, or instead of the name, I just remove this particular name. Okay, I am not giving the name. I can give the company name is my object. Okay, yes. So for example, I am creating the company name is, for example, SOC. Okay, SOC. I created the, yes, yes. If I executed this one, okay, here SOC is the object, company is the class. SOC is the object and company is the class. Okay, now I can create one more company name, for example, AIT. So AIT Vision, so company. Okay, so here AIT is the company, sorry, object is the object and company is the class. Okay, company is what? Company is class, right? So let me go for understand here. With the same company class, we created the two classes. One is the SOC, one is the AIT. Is it clear or not? So here with a single class, we are creating multiple objects or not? For example, I want to print the what is my opening date of this SOC. I want to know the SOC opening date. Simply SOC dot, you are giving the what is the attribute, so followed by the attribute. So I don't know what is the opening date. The reason is that you are just created the SOC object, so you have to mention the what will be opening date. You have to mention the opening date and the type of the organization. Okay, so this is the information you can able to fill it. You can able to fill it by the time of creation or else after you created the object. Both the situations you can do it. Let me do. We can create after creating the object. If you want to be assigning the information after creating of the object, then we have to follow by the some dates. Okay, 24th Jan 2018, for example. Okay, 2018. And for example, nature of the company. So type of org. The type of org is education, educational institute. Okay, educational institute, right? So this is the way. After creating of the object also, you can able to go for assigning the attributes information. In the meanwhile, you can able to go for giving the information for the AIT also. So for same AAT also, which is the having the opening date attribute and which is having the type of the organization. Okay. So for example, the opening date, for example, 26 Jan 2022. Let me consider. Okay. But let me consider this is the AAT. Shit. So this is the IT, information technology or software company. Software and information technology. Information technology. Okay. Software or information technology. This is the way after creating the object also you can able to go for give the assign the some data. Okay. After assigning the data, I want to know the what is the information inside of the AAT with opening date and type of organization and the meanwhile SOC also. Then simply you can give you object name and attribute name. You can go with so this is the information about SOC, right? So you can say that SOC details. Now, meanwhile, you can go with and printing the AAT data also. So this is the way you can creating the class and you can creating the objects and you can create some attributes inside of the class, and then you can able to go for assigning the data into the attributes outside of the class, and the meanwhile you can able to access the data attributes data outside of the class. This is what I explained till now. Is there any question? Is there any question? Is there any question?
For class name.
Sorry?
Need naming convention for class name, which start with capital letter, and for second letter.
Yeah. Yes. So just for understanding purpose and just for knowing the whether it is a class or attribute, that specific purpose only the first letter could be the capital letter. Okay, even if you could not mention the capital letter, it won't give you an error. Just to human references purpose. Okay, not for computer references. Computer perspective, if it is a capital or small, it doesn't matter. But just for knowing by the persons whether it is the class or attribute, so that the classes could be like it's a starting with the capital letter, and so object could be started with the small letters and attributes also small letters. Okay, clear?
Yes, and clear.
Okay, this is for today's class concept, guys. I hope you understood the what is class and what is object and how we can creating the data inside of the class of the attributes and how we can able to access. We seen it, right? By tomorrow class we will know how can you creating the methods and what are the features we seen it previous of this particular class, that we will see practically by tomorrow class. Okay, at least we practice for today's class. Thank you. Thank you so much, and we'll catch up by tomorrow class. Now Python as well as stats. See you. Take care.
Bye, sir.